For centuries, we gazed at the stars, wondering if we were alone. We sent signals, probes, and dreams into the vast, silent emptiness, hoping for a reply. And then, one day, the reply came. It wasn't a message of peace. It wasn't a greeting from a wise, benevolent civilization. It was an armada, a fleet of city-sized ships that blotted out the sun, their intentions made terrifyingly clear as our cities turned to glass and dust. They called themselves the Scourge, a biomechanical horde that moved from galaxy to galaxy, consuming, assimilating, and extinguishing all life. They had done this 1,000 times before. To them, we were just another world to be harvested, another species to be erased from the cosmic record. They underestimated us. They saw our squabbles, our fragile bodies, our seemingly primitive technology, and they thought us weak. They didn't see the fire in our hearts, the unbreakable spirit of a species that had clawed its way to the top of its own world through sheer grit and determination. They didn't understand the power of a parent defending their child, a soldier defending their home, a scientist defending the future. In the face of extinction, humanity did what it has always done best. We united. Borders vanished overnight. Old rivalries were forgotten. Every factory, every laboratory, every single human being was dedicated to one singular purpose: survival. The initial years were brutal. We called it the Great Retreat. We lost Earth. We lost Mars. We lost our cradle worlds in the Sol system, fighting desperate, losing battles against an enemy that seemed to have no weakness. We were outgunned, outnumbered, out-teched. But for every system they took, they paid a price in ships and drones. We learned their tactics. We reverse-engineered their shattered technology. We turned asteroid fields into minefields, gas giants into colossal traps, and black holes into gravitational weapons. We were no longer just defending. We were learning to bite back. We adapted. We evolved. Our scattered fleets, once disparate and disorganized, eventually regrouped in the Serpent's Nebula, a treacherous graveyard of stars that the Scourge's sensors couldn't fully penetrate. It was here, hidden in the swirling clouds of cosmic dust and newborn stars, that humanity planned its final, desperate gamble. We had a new weapon, born from the combined genius of our greatest minds and the wreckage of our fallen enemies. It was a resonance cascade torpedo, designed not to destroy their ships with brute force, but to overload the central consciousness that linked the entire Scourge horde. A single mind controlled trillions of drones. If we could sever that connection, even for a moment, the horde would fall into chaos. The target was their command vessel, a behemoth the size of a small moon, nicknamed the Crown of Thorns by our pilots. It sat at the heart of their formation, coordinating the final push to eradicate our last stronghold, the colony world of Proxima Centauri B, now known simply as Bastion. Getting to the Crown was a suicide mission. An entire Scourge fleet stood in the way. But we had no other choice. It was do or die. The order was given by Admiral Eva Rostova, a woman who had lost her family on Earth but had never lost her hope. Her voice, broadcast to every ship in the human fleet, was steady and calm, betraying none of the crushing weight on her shoulders. "For generations," she said, "we have been the hunted. Today we become the hunters. We are the burning fire of humanity, and we will not be extinguished. For Earth, for everyone we've lost, for the future." The battle that followed was not a battle, it was an apocalypse. Our ships, sleek and agile destroyers and heavily armed dreadnoughts, punched a hole through the Scourge's outer screen. Lasers, plasma, missiles, the void was filled with blinding light and silent explosions. Our finest pilots, flying single-seat fighters we called Wasps, weaved through the maelstrom, drawing fire, clearing paths, their comms a chorus of defiance and sacrifice. For every Scourge drone they took down, another took its place. The losses were staggering. Ship after ship, Friend after friend was consumed by the green fire of the Scourge's energy weapons. At the heart of the assault was the flagship, the Indomitable, carrying Admiral Rostova and the precious resonance torpedoes. It weathered blow after blow, its shields flickering, its hull groaning under the strain. Alarms blared across the bridge. Hull breaches were reported on a dozen decks. Still, it pushed forward, a spear aimed at the heart of the enemy. The plan was simple and insane. They would fly the Indomitable directly into the maw of the Crown of Thorns, using its own bulk to shield the torpedo launch. It was a one-way trip. Everyone on board knew it. As they drew close, the Crown itself opened fire, its primary weapon a beam of energy so powerful it could crack a planet's crust. It sliced through our lines, erasing dreadnoughts as if they were nothing. But it was too late. The Indomitable, blazing like a dying star, its engines pushed past every safety limit, breached the Crown's final defensive perimeter. "All hands! Brace for impact! Launch sequence initiated!" Rostova's voice was the last thing the fleet heard. On the main view screen, they saw the Indomitable plunge into the superstructure of the enemy command ship. A moment of blinding light, and then silence. For a terrifying second, nothing happened. The Scourge fleet continued its relentless advance. Had it failed? Was this the end? And then it began. A wave of shimmering energy, invisible to the naked eye but catastrophic to the Scourge, pulsed outwards from the wreckage of the Indomitable. One by one, the Scourge drones went dark. Their engines failed. Their weapon systems went offline. The single, unifying consciousness that drove them was shattered. The unstoppable horde was suddenly a drifting, lifeless field of metal. The remaining human ships, battered and broken, drifted in the silence, their crews watching in stunned disbelief. They had done it. Against all odds, humanity had won. The cost was immense. The Indomitable, Admiral Rostova, and her entire crew were gone. Half the human fleet was destroyed, but they had purchased a future. The victory at the Serpent's Nebula, what would forever be known as Rostova's Gambit, echoed across the galaxy. It was a message to the cosmos that humanity, this small, stubborn species from a pale blue dot, was not to be underestimated. We had faced extinction and stared it down. The long war was over, but the journey to rebuild had just begun. We had been pushed to the brink, but we had not broken. We endured. And in that endurance, we found not just survival, but a new strength and a new beginning among the stars we now called home. Thank you so much for watching. This story is a testament to the idea that no matter how dark things get, hope and courage can change the fate of worlds. If you enjoyed this tale of galactic survival, please hit that like button, subscribe for more epic stories, and share your thoughts in the comments below. We'll see you in the next one.